The Senate will come to order. Senator Ulibarri, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues who are here and guests, please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Majors, would you please call the roll?
Aguilar, Balmer, Baumgartner,
He's just calling the roll.
Excused?
Brophy,
Excused?
Cadman, Crowder,
Excused?
Grantham,
Excused?
Guzman, Harvey,
Excused?
Heath, Herpin, Hill,
Yeah, we got him excused. Excused? Or present?
Oh, he raised his hand.
Excused?
Yeah, read this.
Hodge, John, Johnston, Jones, Kafalis, Kerr, King, Lambert, Lundberg, Marble,
Excused?
Newell, Nicholson, Renfro,
Excused?
Rivera, Roberts, Sheffel,
Excused?
Schwartz, Stedman, Toktrop, Todd, Ulibarri, Zenzinger. Madam President.
Here. With 26 present, 0 absent, 9 excused, the Senate has a quorum. Motion to adopt the journal. Senator Herpin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the reading of the journal for April 10th, 2014 be dispensed with and the journal be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
For the motion, all in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. That motion is adopted. Senate Services.
It's within eyesight.
April 11, 2014, correctly printed Senate Bills 187, 188, 189, 190, correctly engrossed Senate Bill 152, correctly revised House Bills 1295 and 1312, correctly enrolled Senate Bills 27, 103, 146, Senate Joint Memorial 2.
Everybody can see it.
I see it.
I see it.
I see it. If I need to do this first.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Madam President. I move we proceed out of order for a moment of personal privilege for Senator Todd. I think I'm going to regret this.
The motion is whether to grant Senator Todd a moment of personal privilege out of order. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no? Yeah, I don't know, Senator Todd. Ayes have it. Senator Todd's granted a moment of personal privilege out of order. Senator Todd.
Thank you very much, Madam President. And I am excited about today. Those of you that remembered to wear your college colors and your hats and scarves and sweatshirts, to recommend that this is College in Colorado. And we know that our majority leader has a hat somewhere in the chamber, so when you can help him find the missing hat, we know that it has an insignia of only one letter, and so that's kind of the challenge before everyone in the chamber today. But before we discover where it is, I want to just recognize the fact that this is the 9th year in a row that College Friday is a program that has been recognized in Colorado, and it is organized by the Colorado Department of Higher Education, and it is to really draw attention to the need for students to prepare for a post-secondary college career. There are many different options and different avenues that students can take. We know that there are many options right here in the state of Colorado as well as out of state, but the most important piece is that we are encouraging our students to go further, go to college, and then come back to Colorado and reinvest back in our state. It coincides with the annual ACT assessment, so those of you that maybe have high school students are currently taking their ACTs right now during April 23rd, which is also Shakespeare's birthday. So all of that education along the way. So I have several guests here in the chamber, and I know we can't introduce them individually, but if you would please join me in welcoming representatives from higher ed as well as some of our local high schools, and say hello to a group of students who are moving ahead, making plans for where they're going to go after high school, and so just take time to say hello and welcome to the Senate chamber.
Become Jayhawks because we can start talking slow.
Welcome. Third reading of bills. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I just found my hat, unfortunately. Thank you, Madam President. I move that all bills on third reading of bills, for third reading of bills final passage be laid over until Monday, April 14th.
You've heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The bills on third reading will lay over till Monday, April 14th. General orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Nicholson.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of general orders, reading of bills, consent calendar.
You've heard the motion. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The Senate will resolve itself into a Committee of the Whole for purpose of considering general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar, and Senator Nicholson will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. The Senate Majority Leader Heath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move we lay over Senate Bills 13 and Senate Bill 008 to Monday and place it on the second reading of bills consent calendar for Monday, April 14th.
The motion is to lay over Senate Bill 13 and Senate Bill 8 until Monday. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion is passed.
This is not sure.
Oh. Mr. Majors, would you please read all the titles to all the bills listed on the consent calendar?
Senate Bill 46 by Senator Nicholson, Representative Atkinson, concerning a grant program to increase local firefighter safety. Senate Bill 13 by Senator King, concerning resources received by a recipient of an old age pension. Senate Bill 8 by Senator Roberts, concerning the creation of the Wildfire Information and Resource Center in the Division of Fire Prevention and Control in the Department of Public Safety. House Bill 1130 by Representative McCain and Senator Ulibarri, concerning the disposition of monies charged to borrowers for the cost to be paid in connection with foreclosure.
I'll change it. I'll read the motion all over again.
Majority Leader Heath.
Thank you. Boy. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to renew my motion. Senator King is here, and I had not seen him, so that's why I was going to lay it over. So I'm going to just move that we remove Senate, and Senator Roberts is here. Do you want to do yours? Yes. So let me just withdraw that. We will go ahead and do all the hear all the bills on consent.
Is there any discussion of the committee reports? The motion before the body is the adoption of all of the reports on general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the reports are adopted. Is there any discussion on any of the bills listed on the general orders consent calendar? Senator Stedman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Could you please clarify the motion? I'm confused as to which bills are on and which bills are off.
Senator Stedman, let me clarify that because Senator King and Senator Roberts are here and ready for us to consider their bills on the consent calendar, it's Senate Bill 46, 13, 8, and 1130. Majority Leader Heath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to move the adoption of all the bills on general reading, bills on general order, second reading of bills consent calendar and their associated committee reports, which includes Senate Bills 46 and its Local Government and Appropriations Committee reports, Senate Bill 13 and its Appropriations Committee report, Senate Bill 08 and its Appropriations Committee report, and House Bill 1130 and its Local Government Committee report.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on any of the committee reports? The motion before the body is the adoption of all the reports to all the bills on the general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the reports are adopted. Is there any discussion on any of the bills listed on the general orders consent calendar? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of all the bills on the general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bills are adopted. Majority Leader Heath.
Okay, yeah. I move we rise and report.
Motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come back to order. Senator Nicholson.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Mr. Majors, would you please read the report?
April 11, 2014, Madam President, your committee of the whole basic report is under consideration of the following attached bills being second reading thereof, makes following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 46 is amended, Senate Bill 13 is amended, Senate Bill 8 is amended, passed on second reading in order to gross place of the counter for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1130 is amended, passed on second reading in order to revise place of the counter for third reading and final passage.
Senator Nicholson.
I move for the adoption of the report.
Any discussion? Question is the adoption of the Committee of the Whole report. Are there any no votes? With 26 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 9 excused, Committee of the Whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 46 is amended, Senate Bill 13 is amended, Senate Bill 8 is amended, passed on second reading, ordered, engrossed, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1130 is amended, passed on second reading, and ordered, revised, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. General orders, second reading of bills, Senator Nicholson.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the general orders, second reading of bills, Captain.
For the motion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The Senate will resolve itself in the Committee of the Whole for purpose of considering general orders, second reading of bills, calendar, and Senator Nicholson will take the chair.
Is my 64 going?
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Bill 1339?
House Bill 1339 by Representative Giroux and Senator Hodge concerning the creation of the Hazardous Substance Site Response Fund.
Senator Hodge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1339. This is the bill. Thank you. This is the bill that creates a hazardous substance site response fund. We have removed the $10 million from it for other purposes this year, so all this does is create a fund for when we have money to put into it. I ask for an aye vote.
Senator Lambert.
Did we actually take that off?
No, we just took the money out.
When in I don't think we did. Did we do that in the approach?
No, we didn't take it. I mean, we went to our approach and we still approved it.
Is there wasn't, yeah, there wasn't a, I remember my first, we just didn't do the approach.
Senator Hodge.
Thank you. I just asked for an aye vote.
Is there, Senator Lambert,
Thank you. I'll also ask for an aye vote.
is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1339. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill is passed. Majority Leader Heath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move we lay over House Bill 1285 until...
We're ready to go.
Oh. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Bill 1285?
House Bill 1285 by Representative Ryden and Senators Aguilar and Johnston concerning a requirement that a professional tax preparer provide certain disclosures to a client when preparing tax documents for the client.
Sorry, Robbie.
You asked me to lay it over.
Yeah, I know. Then we had the votes ready, so we can do it, so we can lay it over.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move we lay over House Bill 1285 until Monday, April 14th.
The motion is to lay over House Bill 1285 until April 16th, April 14th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The motion passes. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Bill 88?
Senate Bill 88 by Senator Newell and Representative Kraftharp concerning the creation of the Suicide Prevention Commission.
Majority Leader Heath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move we lay over Senate Bill 88 until Monday, April 14th.
The motion is to lay over Senate Bill 88 until Monday, April 14th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion passes. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Bill 50?
You can do it.
Senate Bill 50 by Senator Aguilar and Representative Moreno concerning financial assistance in Colorado hospitals.
Senator Aguilar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 50 and the Health and Human Services report and the Appropriations Committee report. I also move amendment. Okay. I move amendment L008 to the Health and Human Services Committee report and amendment L007 to the Appropriations Committee report.
To the Health and Human Services report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Health and Human Services report is a strike below amendment, and we simplified the bill to become primarily one of asking CDPHE to ensure compliance, and then creating a little subgroup to come together with the guidelines for compliance. The amendment L008 just clarifies that nothing in this bill will affect the licensure of the hospital.
Is there any discussion to the committee report? Seeing none, the commission, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The committee report is adopted. To the Appropriations report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the Appropriations Committee, we first of all, we made a change to the Health and Human Services Committee report to clarify that the Attorney General does not have a role in this process, and then we put in the appropriation for the funds for the bill. And I move the Appropriations Committee report.
Is there further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Appropriations Committee report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the Appropriations Committee report is adopted. There is an amendment on the desk. Mr. Majors, would you please read the amendment L008 to Senate Bill 50?
Amendment L008 to Senate Bill 50 by Senator Aguilar, amend the Health and Human Services Committee report dated February 27, 2014, page 3, after line 25, insert section 9. Nothing in this section affects a license issued to a hospital pursuant to section 25.3.101. The department shall not charge a hospital an additional license fee for
Senator
costs
Aguilar.
associated.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move amendment L008. This amendment simply states that, clarifies that none of this bill influences whether or not a hospital is licensed. And I ask for your support.
Is there any discussion on L008? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of amendment L008. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion is adopted. There is another amendment on the desk. Mr. Majors, would you please read L007 to Senate Bill 50?
Amendment L007 to Senate Bill 50 by Senator Aguilar, amend the Appropriations Committee report dated April 9, 2014, page 1, strike
Senator
lines 3.
Aguilar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So Amendment L007 is to the Appropriations Committee report, and it's to clarify that if a hospital self-reports an incident, it is not a complaint. And it also clarifies that the incident system currently used by CDPHE for hospitals will be used for this process as well. And I ask for your support.
Is there any discussion on, further discussion on L008? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L008. All those in favor say aye. 7, I apologize, L007. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. To the bill, Senator Aguilar.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, members. As you can tell, this was a long time in coming and a well-negotiated bill. And let me tell you what it's about. If you remember, in 2012, we passed a bill that required hospitals disclose information to patients regarding financial assistance, charity care, and their payment plan options. A survey done 1 year later revealed poor compliance, with only 3 out of 12 hospitals having the information in waiting rooms, 45% having it available to someone if you called, and only 8% having it widely publicized. In addition, in the past 2 years, I personally have been contacted by 4 different patients who received bills in excess of what would have been required by the current law. In every case, the hospitals have immediately corrected this, but because of this poor compliance, we wanted to create a mechanism to ensure compliance to the current law. So as amended, this bill clarifies that the hospitals have to inform patients on their billing statements of their rights regarding financial assistance and provide contact information. It requires that hospitals correct any identified errors or omissions and provide a financial correction when indicated for consumers. If they do need to do a financial correction, they should not send the consumer to collections while this is being fixed. The hospitals will report this information to the department, and the department, when they license the hospitals, will review to be sure that the policies are in place. It delineates a corrective plan of action for hospitals that are not in compliance. There is a mechanism for finding hospitals, but only if it's knowingly or willfully not compliant or failing to take any corrective action, and that's a maximum of $5,000 that can be negotiated based on the hospital size and magnitude of the grievance. And then finally, because this was so hard to negotiate, the hospitals asked that we convene a group of stakeholders to make recommendations to the Board of Health on what exactly it means to be compliant, and that is also covered in this bill. I ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 50? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 50. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill passes. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title of Senate Bill 64?
Senate Bill 64 by Senator Ulibarri and Representative Salazar concerning restricting the use of long-term isolated confinement for inmates with serious mental illness.
Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 64, the Judiciary Committee report, and the Appropriations Committee report.
To the committee report. To the Judiciary Committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Judiciary Committee report amended the original bill to more closely reflect the policy that had been adopted by the Department of Corrections around the use of isolated confinement for folks with serious mental health issues. We also put in a work group to help continue with the implementation of the definitions and policies that are being set in administrative regulations.
Is there any further discussion to the Judiciary Committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Judiciary Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the Judiciary Committee report is passed. To the Appropriations Committee report, Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Appropriations Committee added in the appropriations clause to ensure that the policy that is currently being developed and enacted by the Department of Corrections has the necessary personnel, specifically guards to ensure institutional safety and mental health professionals to ensure that the folks are moving out of solitary confinement into still a restricted environment in the residential treatment program, and that's done in the most safe, most healthy way possible.
Is there any further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Appropriations Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the report is adopted. To the bill, Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 64 passed unanimously out of both the Judiciary and the Appropriations Committee. This is a policy issue that we've dealt with as a state for many years, and our new Director of Corrections, Director Ramish, has taken a bold stance in ensuring that we're removing people with serious mental health issues out of long-term isolated confinement. We all know the most extreme example with Mr. Ebel and Director Clements, that when you have someone with a serious mental health need put in long-term isolated confinement, and 97% of our inmates ultimately end up back on the streets, that when they go from solitary, an aggravated and decompensated mental health issue out to the streets, it makes our communities less safe. What the Department of Corrections has proposed and what this bill codifies is ensuring that we can move those inmates from solitary confinement to still a restrictive environment where they have therapeutic time, other mental health interventions to ensure that when they leave the correction system, they are not more dangerous, they are less dangerous.
Senator King.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator Ulibarri, for carrying this legislation. This legislation should be called the Tom Clements Mental Health Justice Bill. Tom Clements was a great advocate for dealing with ADSIG. I know that President Carroll and myself talked to him when he first started, and he was very concerned about how we were treating people in administrative segregation in our prisons. Many that had mental health problems just added to their mental health problems by being in administrative segregation. Director Clements worked very hard during his time here in Colorado, and I appreciate this legislation. I appreciate Senator Ulibarri championing this legislation, and I encourage an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 64? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 64. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill passes. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title of Senate Bill 15?
Senate Bill 15 by Senator Kerr and Representatives Young and Melton concerning the creation of a hospitality career grant program.
Senator Kerr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 15 and the Appropriations and the Education Committee reports.
To the Education Committee report, Senator Kerr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Education Committee report just struck some language and replaced it with established Colorado academic standards. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion to the Education Committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Education Committee report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The report is adopted. Senator Kerr, to the Appropriations Committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Appropriations Committee report appropriates $56,000 to Senate Bill 15. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion to the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Appropriations Committee report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the report is adopted. To the bill, Senator Kerr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill creates a hospitality career secondary education grant program in the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. And this new program will award grants to increase the number and quality of hospitality programs operating in schools. I want to make sure that folks know a little bit about what the hospitality industry means here in Colorado. In Colorado, we have more than 250,000 people working in this industry, and that means 4 out of every 10 retail workers in the state. This year, it's estimated that the hospitality industry will produce more than $10 billion in sales, generating more than $675 million in state and local taxes. To give you a perspective, in our homes or out of our homes, that this year alone, Colorado consumers will spend nearly $27 million per day on food away from home. So what is a hospitality education program? We already have programs like this in our state where students graduate from hospitality education programs and they leave with employable skills, communication, self-management, teamwork, confidence, and professionalism, skills that are transferable to any industry. These programs team students with mentors in the restaurant and other hospitality industries so that students can learn directly from leaders in the hospitality industry. As I said, these programs are already in place. The problem is that they're maxed out. We had testimony coming in where students had to actually leave their high school in the middle of the day to go to another high school in order to take part in the programs. By expanding these programs, we're going to improve the ability of these students to have programs in their own school and to make this education program more accessible for all students, especially in rural areas. With that, I ask for a yes vote on Senate Bill 15.
Senator Swartz.
And thank you, Madam Chair, and I rise in support of this really exciting and important bill. Serving on the Colorado Tourism Board and Heritage Tourism Board and all the opportunities we have to showcase what Colorado's about to our tourist industry. Just a couple of questions. The more, especially in our rural areas, that we can provide and help develop this hospitality workforce, that these young people can be employed in entry level for the service industry, and we're not hiring young people from out of state or that know how to say yes ma'am, no ma'am. I think that we can develop our own workforce, and we have an opportunity to support that. My one concern is the opportunity for our community colleges and their ability. I understand this is secondary level experience, but to the extent that we could expand and make the grants available for our community colleges that are out in our rural areas and have them deliver really exceptional hospitality programs that we're seeing certainly here at Metro and other institutions, and their ability to reach out and actually give more degrees as opposed to just certificate programs could be really helpful. And certainly know that that's been an objective of my communities, and find it to be an opportunity. I get the scope of this bill, but is there any eligibility for some collaboration with our community colleges?
Senator Kerr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, absolutely. And the ProStart program that's out there right now actually does quite a bit of collaboration and really helps to pipeline the students from high school going into community college. That's part of what they do, is they help with the counseling and the transition then from high school. And again, this bill is specifically designed around the high school student, but part of the ProStart program that's in place right now, that's part of the services they offer, is making sure that students are directed to a community college or other higher ed institution that really matches their skill set and where they want to go. So I agree. Originally, when we were first drafting the bill, we were hoping to do a little bit more directly with the community colleges, but keeping the scope of this bill, the direct grants going to the secondary level, not to the higher ed level at this point.
Senator John.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just very quickly, I always support when we can offer more choices in the education, especially going into careers. If you will just kind of go over with me the funding part. I noticed that in 2015-16, It has increased to $399,852. So kind of, if you will go over the funding and how that will work, and have you identified the money, or is it something that you'll need to come back to the budget for next year?
Senator Kerr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, so the fiscal note for this year does start us off getting that the Department of Labor and Employment will start the program, get it designed and in place. The increase in the appropriations for next year is for the actual grants being awarded to the schools that will actually start supporting our students. That's why you see the increase in the appropriation moving ahead to next year. And so next year, as it states here in the fiscal note, that will be general fund money being spent to support our students in our schools going into hospitality careers.
Senator Jones.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I think this is a great idea, and I'd ask people to vote for the bill. Having been in the hospitality industry up in the ski area, and myself personally, I know sometimes it's not as lucrative as it can be, but it's a lot bigger than that. It was really interesting to me. My daughter decided to go to the University of Central Florida because of their hospitality school, and we went out and visited, Orlando, Florida, where Disney World and MGM and all that is. It blew me away, the scale of this program. And it's right next to the convention center, which makes our convention center look small. And the career access for young people for a meaningful job that pays well through time, it was astounding to me how sophisticated it was. And so this is the kind of thing I think we need to do to open another career path for people who have an interest in this. It's a tough job a lot of times, and having them very prepared for that is a good idea. And taking some of those barriers and moving up to a good job is a great idea. So thanks for bringing this bill, and I ask for a yes vote.
Senator Kerr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to read one quote from one of our witnesses and then ask for an aye vote. Bob Sabina, who's an area director for Chili's restaurant, and he's the father of a ProStart intern, said in committee, "This program had a dramatic impact on my son and opened doors for him that I do not believe he would have had otherwise. Programs like this help to ensure that students are not only receiving work-ready training, but also the softer skills that employers look for, like interview skills, dress code expectations, teamwork, and leadership." Ask for an aye vote on Senate Bill 15.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 15? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 15. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill passes. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title of Senate Bill 1?
Senate Bill 1 by Senators John and Curtin, Representatives Garcia and McLaughlin, concerning making college education more affordable by imposing further restrictions on tuition increases, increasing financial aid, and increasing operating support for each governing board of state supported institution of higher education by 11%, and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Heath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move we lay over Senate Bill 1 until Monday, April 14th.
The motion before the body is to lay over Senate Bill 1 until Monday, April 14th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. And the Senate Bill 1 will be laid over until Monday, April 14th. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title of Senate Bill 11?
Senate Bill 11 by Senator Heath and Representative Hollinghorst, concerning the Colorado Energy Research Authority.
Majority Leader Heath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 11 and the Appropriations Committee report.
To the Appropriations Committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This reduced the level of funding from $2 million to 1 year, and rather than 5 years, it reduced it to $1 million for 2 years, basically, is what it did. And I would move the Appropriations Committee report.
Is there further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Appropriations Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the report is adopted. To the bills.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This happens to be one of my favorite subjects. This involves the Energy Research Collaboratory, which is one of a kind in the country. It brings together our three excellent research universities, CU, CSU, and the Colorado School of Mines, and couples that with the National Resource Energy Laboratory, NREL, and puts together just a dynamic coalition to basically attract federal and private funding to Colorado. These funds are unique in that they are only used to provide matching funds for federal and private grants. It does not fund administrative costs at all. The universities fund the administrative costs themselves. So this goes directly. And just a quick history. I don't need to talk long on this subject. This goes back to 2007. I was elected in 2009 and have been speaking about the collaboratory for all of these years just because of what it has done. It has employed $6.1 million in state funding and has attracted $50.3 million in private and federal funding for an 8-to-1 match since its inception. And it has just an incredible success story, and I will leave it at that. I don't want to prolong it. I hope the record speaks for itself, so I would renew my motion for Senate Bill 11.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 11? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 11. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill passes. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title of Senate Bill 171?
Senate Bill 171 by Senator Schwartz and Jones and Representative Tyler concerning the ability of the Colorado New Energy Improvement District to arrange financing for water conservation fixtures.
Senator Schwartz.
Then I just have to get my bill folder. Do you have your bill folder? Thank you, Madam Chair. We move Senate Bill 171 on second reading. There's
to the bill, Senator Schwartz.
Thank you. This is a pretty straightforward bill. Last year, we created what was called Commercial PACE Program, and this is an authority that actually loans to our both commercial and multifamily buildings, and for improvements, a completely voluntary program that helps with energy efficiency. And what this does, it simply inserts one word. We were very focused on energy efficiency. It also includes water efficiency and allows for this program to also extend their loans for to include water efficiency. So fixtures and other irrigation and other infrastructure that could lead towards more efficient water use.
Senator Jones.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is a completely voluntary program. It's an option for businesses to help control their costs. It's that simple. The testimony we heard last year on this bill was very compelling, and we just left this one small piece out that had to do with water fixtures where they could save money over time and manage their costs. And it's a great idea to have a voluntary option for businesses.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 171? Senator Lundberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This did not go through my committee, but we don't have a whole lot from that committee here today, so I think it's appropriate to express a couple of concerns that pop up in my mind. One is just the overall issue of who should be funding what for building construction. But the other is water conservation. I think we miss the boat quite a bit when we think in terms of, well, if we can just stop water going through the faucet, that will fix so much of the problem. There are a lot of ways you can conserve water, and preserve water for future use. But, you know, when it comes to running water down through the water treatment systems, it ends up in that cycle of reuse. And we had another bill that mandated what type of fixture can be sold in Colorado. I don't remember the bill number on that one, but I do remember the discussion where it was pointed out that some communities that have mandated low-flow fixtures find that sometimes the flow is so low that the sewers don't work because they're designed to have water flowing through them, and if you shut down the faucets everywhere, it's not just a win-win. Sometimes it's a win-big-lose situation. And here, if I understand this bill correctly, we are essentially subsidizing, to one degree or another, the low-flow fixtures, which to me carries with it an implicit, this is a good thing, right? Well, not necessarily so. And this is not nearly as coercive as the other legislation that demanded retail outlets sell a certain type of fixture. But when we step in and start subsidizing to one degree or another, we are, one, giving a very strong stamp of approval on that mechanism. And as I say, this is a mixed bag when it comes to water efficiency because of the nature of water. Water is not a one-time use. It's not like energy where you use it and it has dissipated. It is, you know, in that great system of entropy where it's just, you know, it hasn't really been captured efficiently, but water is so much more efficient, particularly when it goes through the waste treatment systems. You may lose the water if you put it on your lawn and then it evaporates and it blows to Kansas, but you run it down the drain and quite frankly it gets processed and put through the system, and those who are using the water out of that river downstream have that much more water to work with as well. So I do question the effectiveness, and therefore the a yes vote for Senate Bill 171 may not be the right vote.
Senator Jones.
So members, again, this is completely optional, and what it does, and we had really compelling testimony last year from business people who wanted this, and this just puts one more option for them to choose from if they so want to. And what it does is it helps their bottom line, and it also makes their building more valuable if they wish to resell it. And so all those things are pluses for businesses, and that's why we had such strong testimony from business owners last year about controlling their cost, helping their bottom line, and improving the cost of their building. So I ask for a yes vote.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 171? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 171. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill passes. Majority Leader Heath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move we rise and report.
The motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and we will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Nicholson.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Mr. Majors, would you please read the report?
April 11, 2014, Madam President, your committee of the whole basis reports under consideration the following tax bills makes second reading thereof, makes following recommendations thereon. Senate Bills 50 as amended, 64 as amended, 15 as amended, 11 as amended, and 171 passed on second reading and ordered engrossed, placed on the counter for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1339 passed on second reading and ordered revised, placed on the counter for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1285, Senate Bills 88, and Senate Bill 1 laid over until April 14, 2014, retaining the place on the calendar.
Senator Nicholson.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for the adoption of the report.
There is an amendment on the desk. Mr. Majors, would you please read Committee of the Whole Amendment 1 to 1339?
Committee of the Whole Amendment 1, House Bill 1339.
Senator Stettin.
Thank you, Madam President. I move Committee of the Whole Amendment number 1 to House Bill 1339. And colleagues, this Committee of the Whole Amendment shows that rather than passing House Bill 1339 on second reading this morning, we're actually laying the bill over till Thursday of next week. And the reason for doing this is that this is a JBC-sponsored bill that is part of the budget package this year. This bill, as it stands at the moment, transfers $10 million out of the general fund. And because of some maneuvering we did in conference committee earlier this week, the balanced budget package for 14-15 has other plans for this $10 million. And so we cannot pass the bill in its present form. It had been laid over from last week when we debated the budget package, and it is going to lay over again for another week while we put together an amendment to the bill to make alternative arrangements for how the Hazardous Substance Site Response Fund is going to be paid back money that was swept from it a few years ago. The long and short of it is that the $10 million transfer that this bill originally proposed is actually going to be instead that $10 million is part of how we're going to finance the Colorado aerial firefighting fleet. And that's one of the reasons why instead of passing this bill this morning, I would ask for your aye vote to lay it over to next week.
Senator Hodge.
Thank you, Madam President. Despite Senator Lambert and Senator Kafalas telling me I couldn't do it, I did it, and I did it wrong. Thank you, Senator Stedman, for fixing it.
Senator Lambert.
Please ignore the man behind the curtain and just vote yes on this, Cal.
Any discussion on this Committee of the Whole Amendment? Are there any no votes on Committee of the Whole Amendment 1? With 26 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 9 excused, Committee of the Whole Amendment 1 is adopted. Is there any other discussion on the Committee of the Whole? Seeing none, the question is the adoption of the Committee of the Whole report. Are there any no votes? With 26 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 9 excused, the Committee of the Whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 50 is amended, Senate Bill 64 is amended, Senate Bill 15 as amended, Senate Bill 11 as amended, Senate Bill 171 passed on second reading and ordered engrossed placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1285, Senate Bill 88, Senate Bill 1 laid over until April 14th, retaining their place on the calendar. House Bill 1339 laid over until April 17th and retaining its place on the calendar. Consideration of resolutions. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Joint Resolution 22?
Senate Joint Resolution 22 by Senators Baumgartner and Heath and Representatives Del Grosso and Becker concerning the recognition and commendation of the people of Colorado and the United States of the 100th anniversary of the establishment of Rocky Mountain National Park.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move we lay over Senate Joint Resolution 22 until Thursday, April 17th.
You've heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. We will lay over Senate Joint Resolution 22 until the date specified by the Majority Leader, April 17th. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Joint Resolution 26?
Senate Joint Resolution 26 by Senators Zenzinger and Kerr and Representatives Peniston and Duran concerning the designation of April 8th, 2014 as Equal Pay Day in Colorado and in connection therewith acknowledging the persisting problem of wage disparity among various groups.
Members, we were mid-motion and mid-amendment when we last laid this over. So it's been moved but not acted on, so we're literally in the middle of the amendment.
And we were on one?
Can you give me another copy of the amendment? So we will go ahead and recognize Senators Zenzinger and Kerr for purposes of moving the joint resolution, and then we will take up the amendment that was in progress. Senator Kerr.
Thank you, Madam President. We move SJR 26 and ask for an aye vote.
And the amendment that had been moved previously on the table was L001. Senator Cavan.
Thank you, President Carroll. Members, I renew my motion. I move 001. We believe in equal pay for equal work, but we also believe if you're promoting this issue, you should be supporting this issue. This amendment sends that message to a couple of our national legislators, including the White House, to encourage them to comply with what they are promoting. Would ask for an aye vote.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I would ask for a no vote. I believe everyone is striving to achieve equal pay for equal work, and to select one of our delegation, for example, seems to me to be not the proper thing to do, and I would strongly urge a no vote.
Any further discussion? Senator Lundberg.
Thank you, Madam President. Well, I urge a yes vote to the amendment, but I'm going to apply a little bit different logic than the sponsor did, not to disagree with the sponsor of the amendment, but to put it in these terms. I think we ought to pass this amendment and then defeat the resolution, because this amendment makes as much sense as the resolution does. And that's this. You know, here's the resolution. It's you know, there aren't too many people on the floor, but there are folks watching outside, so let me just read it to you. Whereas, according to the 2013 annual report to Congress on White House staff, women on President Obama's White House staff earn an average of 11.8% less than men working on the White House staff. And whereas other news reports indicate that Senator Mark Udall pays female staffers 84% of what he pays male staffers, and then it goes on to the rest of the resolution, of course. Now, I think the majority leader is correct as well, that this is just singling out a limited one member of the congressional delegation from Colorado. When it comes to the executive branch, it's singling out the only one and giving the statistics that, according to the information cited there, are probably accurate. Just as accurate as the statistics cited in the resolution overall. And that's the problem. The resolution tries to make a point by not really exaggerating, but selectively picking the numbers to put in place. Because sure, you can make the case that the disparity cited in the resolution has some attributable source that seems somewhat reasonable as a source. So too with this amendment. I mean, here's the source according to the 2013 annual report to Congress on White House staff. That's a pretty good source. That's accurate. And that's the problem. The resolution is trying to make the case by selectively taking out numbers. Now, I'm sure that if you were to go to whoever does the hiring and determining the exact salary levels, I doubt if that's directly in the president's lap, even though I'm sure he has some input. But if you were to talk to whoever sets these wages, they'd say, oh, wait a minute. Sure, this number works, but it's got so many other factors in there that really we are not creating any gender bias in our salary structure. We're simply following a salary structure that's consistent with all. And I have no doubt that that's the case with Senator Udall's staff as well. I do not fault them for the disparity that you can find in the pay schedules. What I do find fault with is that we have a resolution talking about equal pay and demanding that there be a correction using numbers just like these. And this is inappropriate. Now, I'd be willing to consider a resolution discussing the challenges that women have in the workforce and laying that out in a clear, factual manner. But what I see with the Equal Pay Day agenda is an agenda, not an attempt to clearly inform the public of a situation, but to kind of tweak the facts a little bit here and there. So please, do support this resolution's amendment, Amendment 001, because it's accurate, just as accurate as the resolution. And then let's vote the resolution down, and if you want to come back with one that really works, that really finds factual basis that can be defended in every arena, then let's consider that one carefully. But if you want to vote down this resolution, this amendment, excuse me, then vote down this resolution. Because even as these numbers don't seem quite up to snuff, neither do the numbers in the resolution itself.
Question is the adoption of L001. Are there any no votes? Mr. Majority Leader, Senator Aguilar, Senators Newell, Kafalas, Jones, Talktrop, Hodge, Madam President Pro Tem, Senator John. Mr. Majority Leader, I've got you. Senators Todd, Johnston, Schwartz, Studman, Ulibarri. Please have the President. With, let's see, Senator Jones, I've got you as a no. With 11 ayes, 15 noes, 0 absent, 9 excused, Amendment L001 fails. Any further discussion on Senate Joint Resolution 26? Question is its adoption. Are there any no votes? Senator Lundberg. Senator Lambert. Senator Herpin. Senator Rivera. With 22 ayes, 4 noes, 0 absent, and 9 excused, Senate Joint Resolution 26 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senate Joint Resolution 26. Mr. Majority Leader. Senator Hodge. Please add the President. Senator Todd. Senator Newell. Senator Aguilar. Senators Stedman, Jones, Nicholson, Madam President Pro Tem, Senators Talktrop, Schwartz, Johnston, Kafalas, Ulibarri. Please add the President. Would the members of the Senate choir please come to the wall? Senator Balmer. today's Senator Balmer's birthday, so we are asking Senator Balmer to find his way to the center aisle. Would the choir please wish him a happy birthday?
Come on, admit it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Senator Balmer. Happy birthday to you. That worked out.
Committee reports.
April 10, 2014, Committee on Education. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. House Bill 1286 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. April 10, 2014, Madam President, the Committee on Health and Human Services has had under consideration as at a hearing on the following appointments recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the Colorado Traumatic Brain Injury Trust Fund Board for terms expiring June 30th, 2016, Catherine H. Johnston Brooks, Ph.D., ABPP of Broomfield, Colorado, appointed. Helen E. Morgan of Denver, Colorado, appointed. April 10, 2014, Madam President, the Committee on Health and Human Services has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointment and recommends that the appointment be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Member of the University of Colorado Hospital Authority Board of Directors from the 6th Congressional District, Denise O'Leary, for a term effective October 1st, 2013, and continuing until September 30th, 2017, or until her successor is appointed by the Board of Regents. This will be Ms. O'Leary's first term on the Hospital Authority Board of Directors. April 10th, 2014, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 175 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. April 10th, 2014, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1045 be referred favorably to the Committee on Appropriations. April 11th, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1017 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. April 11th, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 179 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation with the recommendation to be placed on the consent calendar. April 11th, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 174 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. April 11th, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 167 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 166 be amended as follows and also amended before the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 157 be amended as follows and also amended before the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 154 be amended as follows and also amended before the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation with the recommendation to be placed on the consent calendar. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 151 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation with the recommendation to be placed on the consent calendar. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 150 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 144 be amended as follows as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 133 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 130 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation with a recommendation to be placed on the consent calendar. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 127 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 124 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 99 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation with a recommendation to be placed on the consent calendar. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 87 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration of the Merits Committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 85 be postponed indefinitely. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 75 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole. Favorable recommendation with the recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 56 be postponed indefinitely. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 5 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole. Favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 2 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole. Favorable recommendation. April 11, 2014, Committee on Appropriations. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 73 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole. Favorable recommendation. April 10th, 2014, Committee on Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Energy. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 147 be postponed indefinitely. April 10th, 2014, Committee on Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Energy. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 145 be postponed indefinitely. April 10th, 2014, Madam President, the Committee on Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Energy has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends the appointments be confirmed. Members of the State Board of the Great Outdoors Colorado Trust Fund for terms expiring April 15th, 2017. Heather Lee Carroll of Colorado Springs, Colorado, a Democrat and a resident of the 5th Congressional District, reappointed. And Linda Jean Strand of Aurora, Colorado, a Democrat and resident of the 6th Congressional District, appointed. April 10th, 2014, Madam President, the Committee on Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Energy has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointment and recommends the appointment be confirmed. Member of the Renewable Energy Authority Board of Directors for a term expiring July 1st, 2015, Jeffrey Paul Ackerman of Denver, Colorado, and occasioned by the resignation of Tanuj T.J. Diora of Denver, Colorado, appointed.
Memorandum from the Committee on Delayed Bills.
Memorandum report from the House and Senate Committees on Delayed Bills. Pursuant to Joint Rule 23C, the House and Senate Committees on Delayed Bills acting jointly extend the following deadlines for House Bill number 1336, the Long Appropriations Bill. The Friday, April 11th deadline, the 94th legislative day for adoption of the Conference Committee report on the Long Appropriations Bill is extended until Wednesday, April 16, 2014, the 99th legislative day. This memorandum shall be printed in the Journal of each House as is required by said Joint Rule 23C.
Announcements. Senator Aguilar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, we are done a little bit early today, and if any of you have time, we actually have 70 people upstairs in room 356 who are learning how to advocate for people with disabilities. And if you'd like to go up and introduce yourself, I'm sure they'd love to see you. So thank you.
Senator Todd.
Thank you, Madam President. And I just wanted to recognize that today is Kappa Alpha Day at the Capitol, hosted by Epsilon Nu Omega Chapter. And Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority is an international service organization that was founded on the campus of Howard University in Washington, D.C. in 1908. We've had a group of those members here in the Capitol. They were in the chambers earlier. It's the oldest Greek-lettered organization established by African-American college-educated women. And since its founding over a century ago, Alpha Kappa Alpha's mission has been to cultivate and encourage high scholastic and ethical standards to promote unity and friendship among college women, to study and help alleviate problems concerning girls and women in order to improve their social stature, to maintain a progressive interest in college life, and be of service to all mankind. And I know that in Aurora, they have had a huge impact on young African-American women in our high schools, and I just wanted to recognize them and know that you may see them around the Capitol and say hello to them. Thank you.
Senator Lombard.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a little extra reminder of what I mentioned yesterday, and that is today is Homeschool Day at the Capitol, and you will find that there are several hundred people who are from homeschool families from all over the state, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are some of your constituents that are not only in the building here, but they're down at the Pillar of Fire Church meeting all morning with special workshops and presentations, and then at noon, technically at 12:15, but I tell legislators noon, so you'll make it. There is a rally on the west steps of the Capitol, and if you want to join us, we'd be glad to acknowledge your presence there, and it will go for a little over an hour, I think, is what they have planned for it, and it should be a very productive time. We've been doing this for about 20 years, and it's just a good opportunity to see face-to-face the homeschool community, which is a very powerful educational force in our state and has been successfully educating tens of thousands of students through the years. So if you want to check out some constituents and just the homeschool environment, please join us at noon. I'm sure it'll be a good time. Thank you very much.
Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, I just wanted to rise and let you all know that today is the Day of Silence. It's a National Day of Action for the National Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network. It's a day where folks will take a vow of silence to recognize those who have been victims of hate violence and those who have not yet had the ability to come out as their true selves. Wanted to recognize that although in our chamber we may not be able to take a day of silence, although we may want one, there are many hundreds of people across the state of Colorado who are doing that to lift up the challenges lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender youth face in the state of Colorado.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple of quick announcements. Number one, I've been asked to announce that Senate Bill 164, which was laid over in Senate Agricultural, Natural Resources, and Energy Committee, will now be heard upon adjournment on Monday, and that's for action only. So with that, in Committee Room 353. Thank you. It's also College Day, and I would ask that you all note that my Wisconsin Badger hat has been hung up in its place of excellent distinction. Yeah, that's the better word, distinction up there, and I appreciate the minority leader having done that for me. So go Badgers. I don't think there are any other announcements. Again, colleagues, we're going to recess rather than adjourn so that we can read all of the bills that are coming to us from the House. So with that, Madam President, I would move that the Senate recess until 1 p.m. later today.
You've heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The Senate will stand in recess until 1 p.m. later today.